Will a Biden presidential victory mean the stock market crashes? I'm getting that question a ton. I'm going to tell you the answer coming up. Hi, my name is Mike Bernard. I am the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. Oh my goodness. So did you watch that debate? Did you watch the debate last night? I don't know. Leave comments below. I don't know who won, but I know there was a clear loser, and that was America. That was awful. And I don't care which side, if you really care passionately about one side or the other, it was just ugly, and it was just awful. But the question everyone's asking is, listen, it's apparently a neck and neck race, right? It's very close. Polls say one thing, but we also know polls were wrong last time. And so, listen, we know what we're getting with Trump in the stock market. If Biden wins, will it crash the stock market? I actually was having a conversation with this is politically neutral site. Okay, we talk about finances here at the Wise Money Show, but I was having a conversation with a Democratic friend of mine, and she actually brought this up yesterday. She was concerned. Hey, I'm obviously for Biden, blah blah blah. I have a fear that that will crash the stock market, won't it? Well, let's talk about that right now. The data is very, very interesting. So before we get to Joe Biden, last night Joe Biden told us he is the Democratic Party, which I thought was interesting as well. So let's talk about how the stock market does, whether a Republican's in office or a Democrat's in office. Check out this data. I will tell you, first and foremost, let me tell you, there isn't a party that crashes the market and a party that accelerates the market. There isn't. The data is overwhelmingly consistent. Stocks do well, period. No politics added to that sentence. Stocks do well. Now, in the short term, are they volatile? Absolutely, yes. Right now, am I pessimistic? Am I cautious? Am I worried that that stocks are too high and we've got so much uncertainty? Yes, I'm worried about all of those things. But over the long term, stocks do well. Okay? End of story. Okay, I'll keep going with the story. If you look at this breakdown, now this is coming from McLean. So I didn't audit this, I didn't double check it, but it's coming from McLean. And check this out. If we have a Republican president and a Republican-controlled House and Senate, that's only happened for 13 years, the S&P 500 has averaged 14.52%. If we have a unified Democrat, so Democrat as president and unified Democrat in Congress, also 14.52%. However, that's happened for 34 years, so a much longer time period. Now, if we have a Republican president but a divided Congress, okay, meaning it's not unified Republican, that's been 33 years and has only averaged a 6.99% return, which that's what's going on right now. Currently, we have a Republican president and divided Congress, so 6.99%. That's still good. Right? And I'm not saying that is good, like 14% good, but it's still good. Where else can you go out and find that rate? But divided Democratic Party, and many people are expecting this, that Joe Biden presidency would be also with a divided Congress. That's only been 14 years. That is not a long time period, but that has actually averaged the best overall rate of return, 15.94%. So what should you take away from this? Number one, I think this data is very, very interesting because I am a geek. But there's been all sorts of ups and downs, crashes, recoveries, recessions and booms and bubbles and bursts throughout this time period that's represented here, nearly 100 years. And yet, over the long term, you can't find a scenario in there where stocks have done poorly. Now, can you find scenarios where they've done better than others? Yes, you can. But there's more to the stock market and more to future growth than just who's in the Oval Office. Therefore, based on this data, you can't say that a Biden win would crash the stock market. You just can't. Now, you might feel that way. You might have your own ideas. History doesn't support that, though. And if you wanted to further geek out, I'm going to link this below, but there's another website where you can actually click on each president and various presidents at a time, compare what the stock market has done during different tenures. Extremely interesting. You could spend lots of time there, so check that out as well. So that's Democratic Party. That's party line and what the stock market has done. Now let's dive in a little bit deeper to policy. Right now, we've got all sorts of uncertainty. There's more uncertainty right now. I've been doing this 20 years. More uncertainty right now than I've ever seen in my career in our economy and in the markets. And so would specifically Joe Biden's policies have a positive or negative impact on the stock market? Now, let's first talk, there's two really, really big policies. Now, we are at an inflection point here in America. So it's much more than finances. So again, but the Wise Money Show, we're talking about finances here. I'm not talking about all the other issues, okay? And there's lots of them. But financially, there's two main policy points. The first is healthcare. And, obviously, Trump is walking towards making some changes with Obamacare Affordable Care Act. Biden said last night, and he's campaigning on expanding. I haven't heard him go as far as the Bernie Sanders and say Medicare for all, but he's wanting to expand and enhance the Affordable Care Act. People have their doubts whether that can be done. Expanding our social health care platform would likely involve additional costs, potentially some uncertainty. Would it be better for Americans? Possibly. I don't know. I have my own personal opinions. If we're just talking about finances, expanding the social health system, my assumption would be more expensive for businesses, potentially more expensive for individuals. That could hurt the stock market. If we detached health insurance coverage from employment, because they were never supposed to be attached anyway, if we detach those, then I think the stock market could absolutely go on a tear, because the largest overhead cost for every business that I know of is humans. It's human capital. It's your human resources. It's employees. And what the second largest cost for employees, other than their salary, is their health insurance. And so if you detach that, and I don't think Biden's proposing it, but if you detach that, I think stocks do great. I don't think he's proposing it. I think what it would do would create some confusion, because it's change, could increase costs, and I think that'd be bad for the market. But that's a small part of the policy. The big policy risk with Biden, in my opinion, is taxes. I'm not sure there's ever been a president that has run on raising taxes and actually won the office. And so, despite what the polls say, I'm still saying it's neck and neck, simply because that's something that Biden is standing on, and you even heard it last night in the debates as well. He's going to raise taxes, and specifically going to raise taxes for businesses. That's bad for the stock market. Now, that might be the right thing for the economy. That might be the right thing for the U.S. I don't know. I'm not speculating on that. I think it would be bad for the stock market. If you just look at the year in which the Trump tax laws were put into place, when they were debated and rolled out, 2017, if you just look at that year, the stock market did phenomenal. If we repeal those, which Biden said he would do, he would get rid of the Trump tax laws. He said that last night. If that happens, I think that growth in the stock market immediately goes away. And if you're going to tax businesses more, that means they are going to make changes to their operations, potentially have more costs, and we're going to see the stock market drop. In fact, if I take you back 3 years, there were many people, as the stock market was going on a tear, Trump was recently elected, Trump tax laws were being debated and were becoming law. The stock market was rising, and there were all sorts of people who came out and said, no, the stock market's not going up because the economy's good. It's only going up because we're changing the tax laws. That's what everyone was saying. So now, if we reverse those tax laws, if there was any truth to that, we're likely to see the stock market drop. So here's the thing. Does the president actually have a huge impact on the stock market? The answer is no. The answer is no. They set policies, yes, in coordination with Congress. And absolutely, Congress has a lot of influence. They do not have control over the stock market. So, do I believe a Biden win would crash the stock market? The data, historical data says no, that shouldn't be the case. Am I cautious about Biden's policies and what that would do to the stock market? Absolutely, I am. So, as always, right now, there's more money speculating on what's going to happen to the election, and they're investing one way or another based on what their thoughts are. That is gambling. Work with your certified financial planner on what your investment strategy should be. The clients that we work with, our strategies, honestly, we're saying it's appropriate no matter who wins, because you've got that core of fantastic low-cost index funds complemented with a dynamic strategy that is a heat-seeking missile, always trying to find what has momentum in the economy. And because of the election, if that momentum shifts, that strategy is going to shift. That is the approach that you need to take, not putting everything in the bank and in cash just in case the wrong person wins, or investing full tilt and very aggressive at a time when stocks are their second most expensive in history. Work with your certified financial planner. If they're not offering a strategy like that, you can contact us. You can find us online, Korhorn.com, that's Korhorn with a K, wisemoneyshow.com, you can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.